I would like to say a few words about my mother. Uh, she was a godly woman. She was a woman of faith, a woman that believed in God. She was a praying woman. I never would forget my mother. I would go out and hang out with the fellows a little bit, and I'd come in sometime at 10, 11 o'clock. My mother, she'd be done worked all day, and I'd peep in the room and she'd be on her knees. Sometimes she'd be so tired, she'd fall asleep on her knee. But she stayed before God. I appreciate my mother in this way. My dad was sick, taken sick, and couldn't work, couldn't take care of us. And my mother, she worked. She wouldn't let us forget about our dad. She would take us to visit him, to be with him. She was faithful towards him till the very, very end, till he passed away. My mother was faithful. She worked. She took care of her children, saw that they had something to eat. Might not be the best, but we didn't starve. But she provided what she could provide. But the most of all, that I'm grateful that she left a spiritual food, because I'm gonna die from the physical food that she gave my physical body. But this here will never die. That she was faithful to God. She was faithful to what she believed. And she lived that life that way. And my mother lived to be 103. And I never will forget, I brought her from out of the hospital, and we was gathered around the bed, and we prayed, because she was a praying woman. So, and we prayed, and we rejoiced in the Lord, and we prayed, and we prayed, and we prayed. I don't know how long we prayed, but it was a good while. And then after a while, prayer kind of drowned down, and my mother kept on praying. And she prayed, and she prayed, and she cried out to God. And then after a while, she got real quiet. And that's the last time I ever heard of my mother. She just slept right on away. When I have to go, I would like to go that way. Not go to a nursing home, not go through sticking needles me in the hospital. I would like for God to just let me sleep on the way when my time comes. But I just wanted to say a few things concerning my mother, because she was an example in so many ways to me. It gave me eyes to see and a mind to think over that. Would I want that type of a wife? To look for it in a wife, if I go to find a wife. It's just things that come to your mind. And so I thank God for, I'd like to say this here. You brought up on the flower bed of ease. My mother, to do a washing, it took her all day long. You had to go get the water. You had a big old black pot. You couldn't put it on the stove. You fill that big old pot up, you build a fire from it. And where you gonna get the fire? You got to get wood. It was a chore and a work in order to do a washing. And then after you build that fire and you got that thing hot, you had to dip it out there and take it to the machine and pour the water in the machine. And after that, you had to take it through the rinsing. And then after that, you had to go hang it up on the line for it to dry. But what do you do today? You go there and throw the clothes in this thing and push a button and walk off and leave it, and it'll holler and let you know when it's through. You ain't did no work. And you're so lazy. This day and time, people are so lazy, but they had to work. That's all they had at that time. They had to fiercely work to get things done. I'm I remember that we didn't have no gas and nothing like that to cook on. They cooked on a wood stove. You had to build a fire. How you gonna do it? You had to get wood. You had to prepare. It was hard work. And they had to build a fire before they could fix breakfast. Y'all got central heat, central air. You go in there and cut the heat, the heat on, how warm you want your house. Man, we got up in a cold house. The wood stove had burned all of the wood out of it. We had to get up in the cold. You put your pants on and it was like ice till your body warmed it up, and you put the wood in there and you made the fire. And how long did it take for it start kind of warming the house up a little bit? Then it didn't warm the house up. You stand in front of the stove and you got hot from behind, you turn around to the front and got warm in the front, and you just kept turning. Now you just walk around and all through your house and you have it warm. You don't know what people have went through. People have suffered to raise a family. What people have went through, and they were faithful. 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 And I learned how to work. I learned how to be honest, how to be fair, how to be faithful in what you set out to do. And young people today is lazy. They don't want to do nothing. They don't even want to clean up their room or make up their bed. But I'm telling you, we had to work. And but I thank God. It helped us to be what we are today. And I thank God that I made it. And I know that you're going to make it today. For all what's going on, you're going to make it. If you learn what's right in God's ways and walk in that way, you will make it. I just want to say a few words about my mother. And God bless you.